There is an Igbo proverb that says that you have to kill properly before you can eat. You are very sure. So I did my homework with her. Even though she had said yes, and from the yes she said no, she's not interested again. And I had to...
But this I wasn't interested. I said I wanted to pray more.
Yeah, she wanted to pray more. Well, so I had to do my homework. Okay. I'm in Lagos. This girl is in Enugu. The best thing is bring her closer to you. So God helped me. I talked to a few of my friends, who obliged me. They had to invite her over for a test in GTB Bank. I called her parents. I have this girl, So when she came over, I did a lot of my homework, spending time with her. We had a lot of chats.
Because, up to this time, I hadn't actually told any of them that there was another person. Do you understand? So I didn't tell him there was somebody else who proposed. Actually, the same week he did.
A day after?
3 days before you did.
Okay.
The person proposed on Wednesday, you did on Saturday. So I actually didn't tell any other person. He didn't know there was another person. So I now had to tell him the whole thing. Okay, there was somebody else. I was praying, I was confused, and so I needed to be sure about what I was doing. That was why I said, please, just allow me some time. Let me still pray about it. But I also want to say that at this point, we're not in love. Yeah. We're not in love with each other. We loved ourselves as brother and sister. But that's, I'm in love with this person. No, we're not in love. We were interested in knowing the will of God for our lives, sincerely. And God knows that with all my prayers, it was to know what is your way for me. Yes, God didn't have to come down to choose for me. I had to think about things, look at character and all that. But I was listening for what God wanted me to do. It was after we got engaged that the love now started, the feelings now came, because love is a decision to be committed to someone.
I was very clear to point out that I knew the deficiencies of my life. The worst thing you can do to yourself is not knowing yourself.
Yeah.
The moment you don't even know your problem, forget it, you're doomed forever. You must know your problem. You must know what you need. I knew from the word go what I needed in my life. I didn't need any girl who is careless, who is dirty, who is unplanful. It's not about fair, it's not about tall, it's not about short, it's not about being bossy, it's not about being curvy. Those things you won't see it in marriage at the end of the day. So, I just wanted the things that matter, which is the personality of the person. So when you see that personality, person might not fit into perfectly that physical look. For instance, when we were in school, there used to be this young lady. Every brother wanted her except me. I want to be very frank. This sister is a UK citizen, so if she says yes to you, you get an American pass, you get a British citizenship. This sister is prayerful, she's pretty, she's tall. But the way I normally describe her, if you're going to lectures, just give her a plain sheet of paper to keep for you. That when you're coming back, you come and collect it. If you give her that white sheet of paper, when you come back in the evening to get it from her, she will first of all, where did I keep it? Where did I keep it? And when she finally brings it out, wherever she kept it, you will see a rumpled white, brown paper, different from what you gave to her in the evening. In the morning, sorry. So you see, I knew from what go. This girl has everything physically a human being, a man will want. But I can't live with that. I just cannot.
Love being a decision. If you read 1 Corinthians 13 from verse 4 to 8a, where the Bible says, love is kind, love is not jealous, is not boastful, love does not keep record of wrongs, love always believes, always trusts, always hopes. All those are not things that you get with feeling. They are not things that you achieve by what you feel.
You don't feel those things.
They are actually hard work. there are things that are difficult to do. There are things that it takes commitment to do them. When the breadwinner in the house has lost his job and for 2 years he's still at home, and you're now like this engineer, you're an engineer in the house, you have stopped believing in the person. It's not easy to do. So it's not a matter of what you feel. The feelings will come, but they will come and go. They are not the main things. So love is that you have thoughts, you have talked, and then you decided to commit to it. Some people who walk away from their marriages did so because they felt they stopped loving their partner. But they never understood what love meant. That maybe I'm infatuated over somebody or I have chemistry with somebody. It doesn't necessarily mean that I'm in love with the person. It's just that, oh yeah, we have chemistry. But love is far beyond that. Love is a harder thing to do. It's a hard work to do. It's the kind of thing that it is commitment that will get you there, because you may do it today, do it tomorrow, and you're like, I'm done. So yeah, so that is what it is. And then on the issue of dating, maybe some people have hearts that can be broken. I don't have the heart that I want to get broken. Yeah, because when you are dating, there is exclusivity. So every other person stay at bay. I'm dating this person. So you keep the person for 2 years, 1 year, 3 years, and every other person comes and like, oh, okay, this person is occupied, this person is occupied. And then after the 2-3 years, you now wake up, you want to get married, and you are now seeing somebody else you want to get married to. There is no way you would tell me that you didn't break the person's heart. You understand? Because you are in a relationship, and a relationship that was exclusive. So for me, it doesn't make for exclusive. You don't have to be in that kind of relationship. I would prefer a relationship where we are all brethren, we all relate together, we do things. I have people who are closer to me than others. I can be with brother A in the morning, and then in the afternoon I'm going out with brother B, and brother A sees us and is not feeling jealous because he doesn't have any domineering thing. This is my girlfriend, or whoever, this is my date. Nothing like that. But at least we relate we relate with one another. We get to know ourselves. When you are ready to get married, then you can look, pray, think, whatever, and then make a choice. And then you can start calling the person with the person. So I believe in courtship, which is after you have agreed to get married. Between that time and when you eventually get married. Courtship. That's what I stand for. Any day, anytime. Yeah. For dating, don't break my heart. I won't give it to you to break.
I keep saying one man's meat is another man's poison. And there's no marriage about relationship. There's no simple formula about relationship. Let's be very factual about it.
It's not a one size.
Nobody can tell you this how it must work. For someone like me, when I was talking to the young people, I said to them, you can predict your future by creating it. That's one thing I say to young people. Not because I read it in a book, but because I see it happening to me. I was a poor houseboy. I was a houseboy growing up. You know what a houseboy is. So those days, when I was going to school, I never had a school bag. The school bag I had was nylon bag. That was my school bag. I never had a shoe. So when I'm walking to school barefooted with nylon, torn dress, torn shirt, it was so strange that I didn't know that as I'm going to work, people could see my bum because I was using one short fade such a long time that the back had torn so much that you can see my bum walking. That was how bad it was. The shirts, the buttons were no longer there. You use rope to put them together. These things they sounded funny, but that was true for my life. So I was saying, in that state, I see children being taken to school run. Me, I'm barefoot, carrying nylon. I looked at them, I said, this is how my own children will be. This is how I want to bring my children up. I was creating my future. I was thinking, anything that will get me here is what I was going to do. So I wanted a future where I have a wonderful family, wonderful sweet wife, wonderful children, a family that I will provide for. And anything that will, destabilize that family, I don't want. I'll do everything that it's going to take not to destabilize that family. So like she said, I did a lot of reading up. And I did a lot of praying. I started praying for marriage when I wasn't ready for marriage. From my year 2, my roommate and I, we are doing fasting every Wednesday.
Year 2 undergraduate.
Year 2 undergraduate. We are fasting for marriage. When we are not even ready for it. You can imagine fasting for 3-4 years about marriage. Meanwhile, you're not looking at any sister and wishing you are going to marry her. But I was creating my future. I told God, God, I want to be a young father. As you see me, so my daughter is an architect too. A young father. If you see me at times when I'm in a shopping mall with my daughter, you would think it's one man with the girlfriend, one side chick. If they don't tell you I'm with my daughter, you won't know she's my daughter. That's the picture I had growing up. I wanted to be a young father. And I believed God for it. I prayed it. Futures of life, they are not happenstance. Nobody just, your future. No. We create our future. Everywhere you see yourself, any setting you're seeing yourself now, is something you created, knowing or unknowingly. That's the truth. So, I created that future as a houseboy. I thought about what will get me here, and I was examining people. When people say, I started thinking about a family when I was in primary school, because that was when I was a houseboy. And I was so maltreated that I was just thinking, I didn't enjoy growing up. It was quite hard. My father died when I was just barely 6 months. My mother was a poor widow, so necessarily they couldn't raise me. So I had to be given out as a houseboy, and I had to fight my way. I had to start creating my future. I had to pray about it. I had to think about it. I had to plan about it. Love is not feeling. It's a mistake people make. To think love is not feeling. Love is a decision till tomorrow. When I say love is a decision, I said to myself way before, I didn't care who the person was, but I said I was going to love my wife silly. I will make sure that my wife, whoever she is, gets the best thing in life. I will work and make sure I provide for my wife, I provide for my children. This one, why they go school like this? My children will study abroad. This is something I was creating, working towards. So when it was time to, I didn't allow the fact that this girl will make me a British citizen. British citizen won't solve my problem. This girl is fine. When you're with her, they say, you're with one beautiful. Fine girl will not solve my problem. But the moment you allow wisdom to prevail and allow God to prevail and submit it to God and walk with God in all of it. And that, like I said, there's a place for watching and praying. As I prayed, I knew what my problem was. And I needed somebody who could fix it. And when I saw those things, I just knew, it's this girl. I'm not even sure I knew her name when I saw that thing. I'm not sure I knew her name. I think first when I came to her room, I hadn't even know who she is, but whoever this girl is, this kind of person, you just talk. I was coming there to see my girlfriend, though, so to say, when a girlfriend in quote, the sister I'm closest to in school fellowship. Yeah, that was the person I was coming to see. But I knew that this is the girl, this person, whoever that has this character, this attitude, this behavior, this is who I want.
Okay, I also want to say that it doesn't mean that there is no place for physical attraction, for instance.
Oh no, certainly not.
But that shouldn't be the priority, because there are some people that everything about their decision is based on, what does she have physically? What is in front? What is at the back? What is, and then you emphasize that over character. So the character should take preeminence over the other one. Of course, definitely. For instance, I know that one of the days he said that I wanted to start up. He said, this girl has fine legs. So. You understand? So yes, there is a place for that. And of course, I didn't want somebody that was so taller than me, for a very silly reason. So that when we stand kissing, I won't have to be on my toes. I will be relaxed. It doesn't mean that if, he didn't meet the other parts, I would say, because he has the right height. No. You understand what I mean? So there is still a place for that, but that shouldn't be the main thing. It should be, if there is to be primary and secondary, it should be the secondary thing. And if it doesn't fit too perfectly, you don't have to bother about that. Okay, well, okay, let me say that at the time he proposed, of course, he was 14 in somebody's house. At the time we eventually got engaged, he had just got a house that was not furnished. At the time we did our traditional marriage, that house was still not furnished. He only had his bed, and then he put curtains, of course, in the house. That was what we had up to that time. It was between the traditional wedding and our white wedding that he furnished the house, I was testifying to my uncle's family then that, okay, just got a settee, and my uncle's wife was like, he didn't have anything in his house before. Anyway, so yeah, of course, we were young and just starting life. And as far as I'm concerned, it's not about what he has or what he doesn't have. I'm a graduate. He's a graduate. We'll work. We'll make money. I will raise a family, So it wasn't so much about, how much did he keep on ground. We actually didn't have money for a big wedding. And he told me, see, what is important is that you're there, you're wearing your wedding dress. I'm in my suit. And pastor is there to wed us. that is what was important. Every other thing is not extra. Important. And so the emphasis is on let's plan for our marriage, not the wedding. Because wedding is just a few hours. So both the card we used for our traditional wedding and the card we used for our white wedding, we couldn't afford to go into the prints. So what he did, being that he's an architect, he designed in his computer in the office, bought this concrete paper for letterhead papers, and used it to print them. In fact, did it in such a way that two would contain on one paper, so that he doesn't have to use so much paper. Yeah, we cut it into two, fold it, and that was how we shared it for both of them, And when it came to, in fact, I remember that even the traditional wedding, he said the band, he told them to keep giving us music to dance. That it is this money that their settlements will come from. And the money we used to go back to Lagos will come from here, so he shouldn't stop.
They should not stop playing this music until all the last 5 naira have come out from everybody. Because I told them, if you want your balance, keep playing it. Until you're sure nobody's coming out to give it. And I meant it, there's no money anywhere. Yeah, I want to encourage young people. When I say, really, it's not about money. It's about when you decide to get married. And you have...
let me finish saying the situation so they'll appreciate it well. Okay, so apart from the card, on our wedding card, we didn't have a reception venue.
No reception, not plan for reception.
Because we didn't have money for reception. So he had said, there's not going to be reception. Actually, it's not necessary. People will eat in their houses. I remember when we were doing counseling, and Mommy, they canceled us. So she was like, Pastor Ide, yeah. She was like, okay. What about people that will come from the east? Are they not going to eat? He said, well, Mommy, if we have money, they will eat. But if we don't have, it's not part of the wedding. The wedding would have occurred. They could go. But Pastor Nabi, I think, heard that. Yeah. I said, so he gave us a bag of rice. And then somebody gave us vegetable oil.
Vegetable and carton of
we didn't go begging. It's not as if we couldn't have borrowed. But his policy had always been what we can afford.
I don't borrow.
What can we afford? So
stay with it.
I used that my alawi as a copper to sew my wedding dress. He sewed his wedding suit.
I didn't say it was my best man that I said, look, buy the material, let us sew. I'll be saving money to pay the tailor. That was everything.
Yeah, because at that time you didn't have money to buy the material. So he's like, okay, let us buy it together. So you that have the money now, buy the material, then I'll settle the tailor. And that was how. So we only made those two outfits, and then that of the little bride. Little bride. We didn't have a bridal train. It was that simple. So because Pastor Namdi gave us a bag of rice, which he actually shared into two.
I cut and eat it too.
He kept one at home. I said, after all, after the wedding, he and his wife will be eating. He finished, and there's another thing. We don't live to impress people. We don't live to impress people, because if it is in terms of impression, I mean, for goodness sake, I was living at Okey in my uncle's house, so I knew the standard they had. My aunt was like, I don't know what you're planning with those your church people. Don't disgrace my guests. So she had to prepare her own things. Got her canopy. So on that day, because she's like, I'm not seeing wedding reception, so she just got somewhere she used to entertain her own guests, Her own guests. And that was it. And of course, people did. I know my other brother said, if you do that silent wedding, because I said, I will do a silent wedding. He said, I will wrap shites and give you as wedding gift. Don't try it, But it's like, we can't afford this thing. So we can't start, borrowing to impress people, have a big wedding, make people feel we are there and we are not there. No. He told the first thing, in fact, that first time I said yes to him, the first thing he told me after that was how much his salary was, gross and net.
The moment she said this, I told her my income.
That was one thing. Immediately, I mean, nothing had happened. Immediately, I finished saying yes. He said, I need to let you know, my salary is this. When they remove tax, this will be the balance. So it's like, see me finish. This is how much I am. This is what I'm worth. This is what I'm worth. So it's not like, oh, I didn't tell you. Because I also hear people that will say, oh, I thought he was rich. And I came in, it's not what I expected. And stuff like that. I tell people, be real. When you are real, that's how you will actually see the right person. Yeah. Because person that won't stay with you if you don't have, will not stay with you. If the person now comes in, that's where you start having issues, So, and those were our situation. And so we just eventually had a reception. So everybody actually came to church. They didn't know where the reception was. So people made sure they were at the church. So after the service, we now told them to go to the church hall.
I cooked for them.
So we went to the church hall and people were served in the church hall there. The church hall was a building that was not even painted. A bungalow. So we had the simplest wedding in the church at that time. And it's not the same today. But the beautiful thing is that we knew that we wanted to be together, and we knew that God, I mean, the days of little beginnings doesn't mean that you will remain small or little. So people shouldn't ignore those days of small or little beginnings, because tomorrow is still a whole lot, and God can turn things around. Marriage is more important than the wedding. The wedding is just a few hours. By the grace of God, Shebi, we are doing 25 years anniversary. You can see my face. I did makeup today. I couldn't afford it then. Today I can afford it, so I can do it. You understand? Yeah, and those are the things we're talking about. So if you have the money to spend and you want to spend it, beautiful. By all means, spend it. But don't go above your means. It's not necessary, because you want to impress people.
Here is felicitations to Mr. Okey and Mrs. Ezeobi. Here is coming from myself on behalf of the First Lady of Anambra State, my family, to wish you a glorious 25th wedding anniversary. Your silver jubilee is today. We're sending this goodwill message to felicitate and to thank God with you, joining your friends, family, and relations all over the world today to give special thanks to God for the benefit and blessings of a happy and productive marriage. I today will send you good wishes, wishing you many, many, many more decades of blissful marriage in happiness, health, and I will also dare to say prosperity. Coming from the saluters to say happy 25th anniversary, and we'll look forward to this golden jubilee, the platinum, and many, many, many more decades. Happy anniversary.
It's been 25 years of bliss, it's been 25 years of joy and happiness, it's been 25 years of togetherness, evidenced and witnessed by so many people around you. Yeah. Our son has told us wonderful stories about the two of you, having stayed with you for just about 1 year, and he is full of wonderful stories about you. How you care about him, taking him in as a son, the love you show to each other, it is unparalleled. We want to give God all the thanks. And we are believing and wishing that the same God who has kept you together for the past 25 years will keep you together for as long as you desire. And our desire is that you will live long in happiness, in joy, and in bliss for as long as you want. If you really want to extend it as long as Methuselah, you have our permission. And God bless you real good in Jesus' name. Amen.
Wow, I personally want to congratulate architect Ezeobi and the wife, my former MD and ED. I thank God for this special day. Meeting you was really a great opportunity, and the names, architect and Mrs. Ezeobi, are the names I'm so sure even my grandchildren will hear about, because crossing your path, I learned a lot. And I really thank God for keeping both of you together, and I wish you more beautiful years together. We'll continue to hear about more and more anniversary events.
My brother, you are here, you are one time. Let's go and get on house. I must congratulate you once more for having such a beautiful and amazing wife. I wish you the best and the best life can offer.
My family and I would like to wish Okey and Ezeobi a happy 25th wedding anniversary. There has been a story of two different people that came together and with determination, a decision to stay together and to model a 5-star family. That is their story. And we felicitate with them today. What do you think about Okey and August's marriage?
I think it's a very beautiful and exemplary marriage, and there's a lot of lessons for everyone and even myself to learn from. And I really enjoyed hearing about how they met, because it was a very touching and loving story of the perseverance of love. And I wish them many, many, many more years of celebration. And I hope I'll be able to learn by myself a lot of more things from their marriage that I'll be able to apply in mine one day.
Exactly. That's a very good one. And so we wish you, what you just did this first 25 is a 5-star. But we are hoping that the next 25 years will be a 7-star. And we do believe that God will take you up. So we keep modeling a good marriage so that people who don't believe that marriage is possible, a good marriage is possible, will know and will see it, and they will believe. It's not a social media marriage, it's a real marriage filled with lots of hard work. So if you don't know yet whether marriage works, go and visit the Ezeobis. Thank you for modeling good marriages, and God bless you all. Happy 25th.
Happy 25th.